Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I'm going to be updating you on day 4 of the reading rush today. And I'm first going to be doing the challenge actually, so I'll let you watch me do the challenge. So the challenge today is to show or create your reading nook, which I'm going to do over here, but I need, some pillows and I need to make it a bit more comfortable before I can actually read in it. So you're going to watch me do that. Hello. So, I have created my my comfortable little kind of reading nook over here with my pillows, and oh, that makes the whole thing a lot more comfortable. I brought my little Bluetooth speaker as well, so I can have a little bit of ambient music while I read. And I brought some of the books that I have been reading or I've finished for the reading rush, and I thought I would give you a little update, and then I can kind of get to my my reading and enjoy my little nook in front of my bookshelf. So first of all, the reading update. So I have finished a couple more books. So I have finished this book over here, A Portable Shelter. So I thought I would kind of match that. I loved this book. It is beautiful. I tabbed, and again, I haven't been tabbing that much, although I seem to be saying that quite a bit, and actually a lot of the books that I've been reading for the reading rush I've been tabbing, but this one I love it. It's so good. So it's Kirsty Logan. I thought I was going to like it. I love the gloaming. And what this book is really, it's basically a series of short stories, but held together with a common theme. So you have two women, Ruth and Liska, and Ruth is pregnant with their child, and they had agreed that they weren't going to tell any stories to the child. They were only going to kind of do real stuff, but each one of them, so when Ruth is asleep, Liska is telling stories about her own life, fairy tales her parents told her, kind of you get in between these really beautiful tales, and they're all a bit like fairy tales. And then when Liska's out at work, Ruth talks to the baby, and she tells her stories as well about her life and fairy tales and things she's been told. So it's really beautiful. I love this book. That just fell. I love this book. It is, it's beautiful. This is a 5-star read for me. And actually, I loved it so much that I kind of am sneaking in The Grace Keepers, which is the next Kirsty Logan book I have. It's not really on my Reading Rush TBR. Doesn't really fit any of the challenges either, but I'm in the mood to read it, so I've just started it, and it is beautiful as well. It's magical, it's gorgeous. She has this amazing way of mixing kind of the real and the magical together, and magical realism, but in a just in a beautiful way. And also some of the most beautiful covers. I was just looking for the cover for the Gloaming. Some of the most beautiful covers that I think I have ever seen. So if I can actually, oh god, get that out. You can tell my bookshelves are very tight. So I mean, look at these three covers, right? I mean, how gorgeous are these? That theme is beautiful. So I am loving these books. And yeah, it's just a new favourite author for me. Then the other book, so Disobedience was my book that I was so A Portable Shelter, just to let you know, was the book that I was going to read all in one spot, and that was on my bed, and I managed to read it all in bed. It's quite a short book. It's like only 158 or something pages long. So that challenge ticked off. Then the next challenge was to read a book that didn't have a non-human main character, and I chose to read Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season of the Witch. I actually managed to finish this one as well. So I really enjoyed this. It is a kind of a prequel tie-in to the Netflix Sabrina show, and it's just it's about Sabrina. It has her aunts in it. It has her cousin, who I really like, who's kind of stuck in the house, and he's just really funny. And then it also has this premise that she is, as her birthday approaches, she's approaching this landmark where she's going to be a fully fledged witch, and kind of has to train and immerse herself and possibly go to this sort of witch school. And then in between you have these like stories that are in black paper called What Happens in the Dark, and it gives you some more background about some of the characters, and just gives you little snippets. I really enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to read the second book. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but I had fun. I enjoyed it. I just think it brings back nostalgia from my childhood. So watching Sabrina, the Teenage Witch when I was younger. And I just think they did a really nice job with this. I also like this element of that they kind of worship Satan. And I know that's probably quite divisive, but I just think it's quite funny. Sort of sending up that kind of premise of, you know, the evil witch worshipping Satan, and I really enjoyed it. So I mean, on pure enjoyment level, I gave this 4 stars. The Portable Shelter I gave 5, but yeah, enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the second one coming out, so I will read it. Then so that is ticked off as a non-human main character. Then I have left to read author's debut first novel, and then the movie adaptation, something with a movie adaptation. So I want to read 7 books. So originally I was going to read Disobedience over here as the first novel. So this is Naomi Alderman's first novel, and also the film tie-in, because I have the DVD for Disobedience. Luckily I found this on audiobook from my library, so I'm listening to it. I have read this. I've read the physical copy when I first got it, but I thought on reread, audiobook, brilliant. So I think I'm like an hour from the end, so very close to the end of this book. And I again, on like reread, I do still really enjoy it. I think kind of rereading it again, there are some bits and pieces that maybe I find a little bit problematic, but in general, the storyline is you have these two characters, Esty and Ronit, and Ronit's father was the rabbi of the local Jewish community in London. And when Esty and Ronit were young, they were at school, they were teenagers, they kind of had a relationship, but of course, being a lesbian in very strict Jewish faith is not allowed. Eventually, when she grew up, Ronit left, so she went off to New York, she went to university, and then she lives in New York now. And she doesn't really know in the beginning what happened to Esty, but then she gets a call that says her father's died, and she goes back to London, where she finds her cousin, who is supposed to be taking over as the rabbi, but also he's married to Esty. So there's a lot of kind of themes. There's a lot of, obviously, religion, which is really actually interesting to, if you don't know much about the Jewish religion, particularly very Orthodox Jewish religion, and then that conflict, that internal struggle between religion, who you should be, what you're told, you know, how do you reconcile who you are as a person with those kind of demands from your community and your religion. I'm still planning to watch the film because I have the film and I want to watch it. However, to complete 7 books, I am actually going to use this one as my booked film adaptation. So this is a graphic novel. This is Blue as the Warmest Colour, and I wanted to read it again when I did yesterday's video, and I was talking about food and Paris and being French and coffee, and then I just looked at it and I was like, oh, I love this. So I'm going to be reading this as my book to film adaptation. And then that should conclude, unless I'm completely missing something, I don't think so, that should conclude all of my 7 challenges. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm probably going to read, I've got audiobook here. I don't think I'm going to, I was thinking about doing Disobedience. I don't think so. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to read some of this, and then possibly sneak in some of the gloaming, and not the gloaming, I'm lying, Gracekeepers, and then yeah, do that in my very comfortable, this is quite nice, in my very comfortable and very blue book nook. So yeah, thank you for listening to me. I hope you're having a fabulous reading rush if you're taking a part. Let me know if you're reading any of those books or if you have read them and what you thought, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye bye.